Hello everyone, it's Kari back again with you on the channel to share another project. I had an idea for this SWAK Postage Heart Sealed with a Kiss Postage Hearts die, and I wanted to try it out and share it with you today. It's a really fun idea. I cut the centers out of white cardstock, and then I have folded a small piece of this light blue cardstock. I pulled out all my shades of Alice blue. So some are lighter than others, and in the video they show up really light, a lot lighter than they are in real life. But I picked one of those, and I'm going to use this outline postage die of the heart, the largest heart, and I'm going to leave the top off of the score line, so off the top of where the fold is, and I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. So I'll take a piece of tape to hold that in place, and this is just a low tack tape. And I'll run that through my die cutting machine, and we're going to get a little heart opening here. Now I'm also going to cut that heart out of the darker blue shade, and that's going to go on top. So it's going to be like a little card, but we're actually going to turn this into a bookmark. So with the centers of the card, I'm going to choose some sentiments from my collection that I have of the Alice collection, and see which ones fit on these hearts. And then I'm going to choose an image also to fit on those hearts. And these are going to turn into the cutest little bookmarks. So I've chosen one of the sentiments here, and I'm putting it in my MISTI to stamp a few times with some VersaFine Onyx black ink. And I'm going to heat emboss that with some clear embossing powder so that it does not smear. And that'll keep this protected and safe while we do the other parts of this bookmark. So I'll heat set that with my heat tool, and then I'm going to stamp another sentiment on the opposite side of the second heart. So the first one says, "How late it's getting," and this one here says, "Oh, my ears and whiskers." And those are both from the Alice Storybook stamp set. And then I'm going to choose some images to go along with them. And again, I will remove this from that sticky mat. So I had my sticky mat in there to keep that in place. And then I'll go ahead and heat set that one as well. I'm also going to do a third one, which you'll see in just a minute. But this one I thought the white rabbit needs to go with that, how late it's getting. He was always looking at that watch, wasn't he? So I'm going to stamp him down, and he is super cute, and he fits really great right there on the right side of this heart with his little ears. And you'll see that I did add a piece of tape there so I wouldn't stamp some black ink onto my sticky mat. So that tape just is protecting that sticky mat underneath. I stamped him a couple of times. This time I'm using Copic Safe ink, and in this set right here, there is a stack of books, and I just thought that was so perfect for a bookmark to have a stack of books there. So I'm going to stamp this down right to the left, again putting a piece of tape to protect my sticky mat underneath, and stamping that once, and then once again I'm going to stamp, put a piece of tape down and stamp it once more. That will give it the feeling of a big stack of books, which is perfect. So I stamped that a couple of times there, and then I could remove my tape and remove that from the sticky mat. And I find that by folding back the sticky mat, it comes off a little bit easier. This is a brand new one, so it likes to stick. Now I'm going to go ahead and, for the "Oh, my ears and whiskers," I'm going to stamp on the little king. I can just imagine him saying that. I know that's kind of funny for the king image, but it just makes me laugh. So of course you can do any combination of images with sentiments that you want. So again, I'll stamp that a number of times and using Copic friendly ink. And then I'm going to stamp the books once again on the right side to go just under that sentiment. Such a cute little stack of books here. And I stamped that a few times. Forgot to put my tape down this time. That's okay. It's not too bad. For the last one, I'm going to use this Alice image from the Teacups stamp set. And the sentiment says life is all about balance. So I thought it would be fun to stack up some books and then add a teacup to the top there. So that little teacup balanced on top of the books. Also kind of funny for a bookmark too. I don't know how many of you like to read and sometimes get lost in reading and sometimes wish real life wouldn't prevent you from reading. So here's our images. I'm going to go ahead and color all of them off screen. And once I'm done with that, you can see all how cute these are turning out. Look at them. Very cute. Now I kept to blues and greens for these and also a little bit of black. So I didn't use any reds at all. I just wanted it to be Alice themed. And now I have these little miniature magnets. They are so small. I wish they were a little bit thinner, and you'll see, I think they have some that are a little thinner. But I'm going to glue one to the front here and then one to the inside. And I found an easier way to do this. In just a minute, you'll see this because that ended up sticking. So I just put glue on the back of that magnet and closed that and then allowed that to dry before opening it. But believe me, wait, I'll show you an easier way in just a minute. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach all of these hearts that we've colored up, stamped. I also added some dots to the right hand side of each of them. And I'm going to add each of those to their own blue postage heart. And now once this is ready, we can glue that to the top. So the top magnet is going to be hidden. And see, I'm going to try to open this and it came apart on me. So that's why I say, wait, I'll show you an easier way in just a minute. But I'm going to open that up and it's going to be easier to add this to the front that way. I'm going to add it to the part that folds, so I make sure to only get glue on this part and not on the upper part of this heart because you don't want glue on the back of that. So I'm going to make sure that this is nicely adhered, covering that magnet, and I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to hold that on. That way it will dry and have a better hold there. So you can see that there's a little bit of a puffy part where that magnet is, and I'm going to let that fully dry before closing that again. So this is where I got smarter a little bit, and I'm going to share that with you. So I'm going to attach these first to the larger blue postage hearts, and then I'm going to add the magnets in a little bit different way. So we'll add those first, just like this. And now we'll take those pieces here and add that little miniature magnet to the inside first. So add that right there, just like that. And then we'll close that up, add the glue and the other magnet to the top, and that's going to seal it shut for a while we put the top on. And then I'm just going to let that set until all the glue is set. So this worked out a lot easier for me doing it this way. Of course, you can test it out and see what works best for you. I also am going to hold those closed with the reverse tweezers like this. And I'll do the second one real quick for you one more time. I decided that 2 tweezers was going to work better. So there we go. So now I'm going to add that inside one again. And then we'll add the one on top, and then we'll add the image to the top of that. Super simple. And then I'm just letting them sit until they are fully dry. So I had to be a little bit patient on this part, but believe me, it works so much better when you let those magnets dry. There we go. Now for the back, I wanted to add a little bit of a detail piece. So I'm pulling out lots of letters, which is one of my favorite mini die sets. And I'm going to add a couple of different images on the top. So I've got one of the spades, one of the hearts, and one of the lockets. You could also use one of the keys if you want. You could use a diamond, but I didn't want to go with red. So I'm going to stick with a locket, and the locket is going to go behind the Alice one, and it's going to cover up that magnet on the back. You'll still see the magnet on the inside, but at least this will finish off the back of the bookmark nicely. So there's a little letter with a locket. And then for the spade, I'm going to add that to the King bookmark, King of Hearts. See, you can see that where that magnet is. Just right there like that. And then for the white rabbit, I'll add a turquoise heart. It's a glitter heart. I think that looks just so cute on the back of those. So I've set those aside to dry, and let me show you how they are going to work. Of course, I had to bring in one of my favorite, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and I'm going to pick one of the pictures just to show you that you open the bookmark and put it over. I usually like to use a couple of pages to do this, but you can do one as well, and it comes off really easily just like that. So see, that's really, really fun. I'll try out another one, and let me show you. They are a little thick with those magnets. I'm going to try to find a thinner magnet for this project, and if I can, I'll link it below. I'll link the ones I have here, and then if I can find a thinner one, see, it kind of leaves that open just a little bit more than what I would like, but still works really, really well. I love how they turned out. I hope you love how they turned out as well. These are some of my favorite little characters and really great sentiments as well. If you're interested in any of the products, I've listed and linked them below. Thank you so much if you use those links. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. And I'll be back with more card making inspiration real soon. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.